Hello, I'm Reverend Althea Greene, Chairwoman of the Memphis-Shelby County School Board, and welcome to our summer episode of Chair Chat. Today I have two amazing guests. Welcome Kennedy and welcome Peter. Tell me a little bit about yourselves. Where did you go to school this past year?
Hello everyone, my name is Kennedy Askew. I'm a rising senior at Germantown High School. I'm a part of debate, mock trial, and Model UN, and I'm so happy to talk about my experience today.
Thank you. Peter.
My name is Peter Shee. I just graduated from White Season High School and attending Indiana University in the fall, studying finance. I'm just involved in the school doing AAPI, Asian American Pacific Islander Club. I really like basketball, so I worked with the Grizzlies a little bit. So yeah, I'm just really excited to share my experience over the summer.
I love basketball too. Just for the record, I played until I was 40-something on a women's team, so played basketball many years of my life. Well, I understand that you guys have had an awesome summer, and you were part of a student leader program for Bank of America. So I would like for you to tell me a little bit about that summer experience. Did you learn anything? What were some key takeaways? So Kennedy, I'm going to start with you.
Okay, so I began the internship with New Memphis. I didn't really know what I wanted to do going in. I didn't have any goals, but I wanted to take advantage of all the opportunities I was given and take initiative. So I began getting into grant writing, and I began getting into all the things that New Memphis has to offer, their programs, the things they do for the people in our community. And I began with doing consulting with the nonprofits. And then we went to our leadership summit in DC at the end, where I got to get involved with civic engagement and how to get involved in our community as an American. I got to learn about Congress and how Congress operates and the intersection between nonprofits and government. So it was a really great experience, and I learned a lot about myself and how I could give into the community more.
Great. Peter.
Yeah, so actually a really close family friend did this program a couple years back before me, and he told me about this program. He knew I was really interested in various things, basketball, culture, and just business in general. So when he told me about this program, I was immediately down to sign up. And going into it, I was really eager to learn things. I really wanted to develop tangible skills like data analysis. But over the course of the internship, there were so many things that I learned, like just simple communication skills, networking, professional networking, talking to, like she said, we went to a summit at the end of our internship, and we were able to talk with 300 kids from around the nations, the brightest mind, the top 4% of the country. And it was just a really great experiences, just going into every single learning opportunity with an open mindset.
I would have to ask, when you have an opportunity to attend like a student congress, and when you're with students from other countries across the United States, what is that experience like, you coming from Memphis, Tennessee, home of the blues, home of Beale Street, home of Graceland? What is that like? Are there questions that they ask when you say, oh, I'm from Memphis? What is that like?
So it was a very eye-opening experience because a lot of people were from like LA, they were from Texas, a lot of people were from these very noticeable states. So being from Memphis, Tennessee, most people did not know where Memphis was, or they saw Tennessee and made generalizations based off of that. So I would have to emphasize that we're from Memphis, not Tennessee. And Memphis has its own culture, as you said. So it was a lot of just saying like, oh, we have great barbecue, we have great culture. If you want to go to any events for any ethnicity or race, you will find events here for that. And just emphasizing the culture that we have in Memphis and how great Memphis is to live in as a young adult and as an individual.
Super cool. I mean, there is nothing like the 901. Searched all over, couldn't find any place. And so that's good that you brag about where you live. We take pride in telling people, hey, I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, home of the Grizzlies, the Tigers, and all of those great things. Peter, what was that like for you?
Yeah, so initially when I met all 300 kids from the summit, it was really intimidating. Honestly, you have a sense of imposter syndrome, when you get in there. But as the week went on, you really got to see how your unique background, us being from Memphis, really would be applied over the course of the week. Like she said, there's some kids from Seattle, LA, just these huge cities. And oftentimes when you first step into that environment, it's really easy to feel overwhelmed and seem kind of small in the big picture things.
Yes.
But I think it was really nice because over the week I started to step back and just look at my backgrounds. I called my friend and he reminded me who I was and where I came from. And you know, just being your authentic self, bringing that Memphis pride, that 901 pride to DC to the summit is really a good thing and something that we Memphians should do on a daily basis.
Absolutely. When you said bring your authentic self and being able to call a friend, it's good to have friends that we can call sometime because they have a way of bringing us back around, you know, and I'm glad to hear you emphasize that. When I think about Bank of America, you know, most people think about money. You say bank, we like money. And it's good to know that you had so many other experiences. Was it anything that really stood out, Kennedy, about that summer intern?
One thing that really stood out was the communication and the methods of communication that we had within the office and getting, like Peter said, connections with people. I have never been exposed to so many connections and so many different people with different experiences. And getting to know people and their backgrounds, where they came from, and how they got to where they are today was really inspiring and got me to realize my own autonomy and the agency I have as an individual, and getting to know that someone will always be there to help you and get to know you as a person. If you want to do something, you will most likely be able to do it. If it's someone from Memphis, someone from anywhere, like we said, we met 300 other students from so many other places. If they're from Seattle, LA, anywhere, they will be able to go on your side and get to know you as an individual and learn from them.
And that's so good because we learn from each other. When we're in a room with people who are not from Memphis and from other places, it's interesting that we continue to learn about other people, other cultures. You know, the longer you talk to them, I always say the more you learn about them. Peter, what would you say would be a key takeaway from your experience this summer?
So one of my favorite quotes from the summit was actually, assume good intentions and leave space for grace. And I think truly that's something that I got out of the whole entire summer, because I thought, you know, Bank of America is a huge name, you know, and I thought I was just going to be kind of a small intern, you know, go get coffee, go get them water, snacks and stuff like that. But when I stepped into New Memphis, I realized that all these staff were really caring and they were open for me to be incorporated into certain projects like data analysis, marketing, and I really had free reign control. Granted that I finished the projects on time and stuff like that, which I would, that I could be really involved in, you know, bringing activation and retention in Memphis. And then when I got to the summit, although these kids were from big cities and whatnot, they were really open to network. They were really open to just talk, get to know my background, and I was, of course, down to get to know their background.
And I think as you guys progress through life, you will understand more and more about the importance of networking and communicating with people. I have to ask this question because you were at Bank of America. Approximately how much money did you make over the summer? And did you save anything? Because often when we think about money, we think about the bank. I think about financial literacy and the importance of you learning at your age to save for a rainy day, which is a very difficult lesson sometimes for adults to learn. So tell me a little bit about how that summer money went, Kennedy.
So I made a bunch of money, about 4.5K to 5K, and I've saved my money and invested my money as I was with Bank of America. I really got to learn about budgeting and investing. So I have my own investment account, and I put some of the money towards that, and hopefully I get a good investment from it.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep up with you, Kennedy. I may need to have a little help with you about investing. And I think sometimes we don't understand investment is being able to put something away and you leave it there and you wait for it to grow. Sometimes people get impatient with that and, well, I'm gonna take it back, I haven't made anything, but sometimes you gotta learn how, all right, trust the process. Peter, what was it like for you on this literacy part and learning about the finance and saving?
Yeah, so like Kennedy, I got a decent chunk of money, probably the most amount of paychecks that I've gotten in my whole entire life. But I think I kind of learned the importance of budgeting during the summit and the financial literacy class that we were a part of in Bank of America. They really taught us to budget at the summit. They had this thing called the Smithsonian, and we would basically, it was a mock environment, right? It was a mock economy where we had to budget based on a certain income that we had. And to say the least, it was very erratic and chaotic, but it really helped me just conceptualize budgeting, using my money, right? Putting my money in the right areas. So I applied that to my life. I made my own budget, put stuff toward investing, and I saved stuff for college, of course.
All right, so Kennedy, if you could say one thing to other youth who are watching, what would you say to them around financial literacy? What would be that one thing that you think it's important for young people to know? Because a lot of young people work summer jobs. Some of them work after school jobs and weekend jobs. What would you say to them about being careful with finances?
I would say to never think you have enough. To always save money just in case something happens. Never overestimate the amount of money that you have. And like you said with the investing, don't try to take it out too quick. Leave it there, let it settle, and just live your life with what you have. And you can always come back to those funds later, but make sure that you have something left over for emergencies, just in case something happens.
And I love it. That's a great lesson. I remember as a young teacher, the older teachers would tell me, learn to live off of the paycheck that you made last year. Save the money from this year, because if you lived off that amount last year, you can continue to live out. And it was always a great lesson for me to take away from them. And they were trying to stress to me the importance of saving, which I got it. You know, sometimes we go in one year, go out the other year, but I caught that message early. Peter, what would you say? Here you're getting ready to go to college, and you know, there's some young people out there that's on their way to college. They may have made some money this summer and thought they needed to go buy new Nikes and things like that. What would you say to them?
Well, I'm right with them. I really want to go out, buy some new Nikes, buy some clothes and stuff like that, and splurge a little bit. But I think, just bouncing off of Kennedy's point, it's really important to be really organized with your money. If you don't want to organize your room, please organize your money and maintain your money habits, because just putting money in specific areas for, you know, you can put some money, you know, toward leisure and whatnot, but just be sure to save money for investing, put some in a savings account and leave it there just in case, you know, the rainy day comes and you cannot afford to have any leeway.
I want to shout out Bank of America for giving you such an awesome opportunity this summer to be a part of the Student Leader Program. And I would just want to say, I am just amazed at all of the information, all of the lessons and the opportunities you were afforded just from your intern experience. And I'm sure you're thinking about, well, next summer, what is that going to look like? You know, maybe you want to intern again. I remember my first little summer job. I just graduated from high school, and I was a teacher assistant at Visual Limited, which most of the kids were blind or partially blind. From that summer experience, I decided that I wanted to be a teacher, and that was the start of my 38-year career as an educator. Any thoughts about what you want to do in life as we get ready to end today? Any thoughts already about, here's what I want to do in life. I'm focused. I know what I need to do to get there. So let me hear that from you. Kennedy?
No, definitely. From my experience with New Memphis and Bank of America, I've kind of been exposed to so many new career fields and so many new jobs that I hadn't known about before. At the summit, we got to talk about DEI and life as a DEI instructor and how that goes about in life. I thought that Bank of America as a banking institution was only about econ and finances, but there are so many other roles in a banking institution. So I've definitely grown to learn about all these other things and what I could do as like an aspiring econ major, and how I could show how my community can impact me and how I can impact my community as well.
It's great. That's great. Peter, what we got?
Yeah, so obviously I'm going into college and I'm majoring in finance, but oftentimes I kind of got tunnel visions, like, oh, I'm going to go into investment banking or the Big Four consulting or nothing else. But this experience really has opened in my mind that that finance is really in any department. You can do finance in, you know, schools. You can do finance in big corporations. So, and also that aspect of I want to have an impact on my community is a big thing that I really hadn't thought of before. So just really broadening my horizon and seeing that I can really do, you know, anything I put my mind to while also bringing impact to the community.
Well, I want to say thank you, Kennedy. I'm excited about your senior year this year, and this time next year you'll be alumni of Memphis-Shelby County Schools. Congratulations, Peter, graduating from Memphis-Shelby County Schools. We appreciate your family for trusting us with you these years, and we're praying that you will go to college. You will be great. I know you will. You got your head on straight. You're focused, I look forward to seeing you on the front of a magazine in the next 5 years. And so thank you both for taking time. I want to shout out Bank of America. We realize as a Memphis-Shelby County School District how those partnerships are so important to us, but they're important to our students. Thank you for allowing our students to be a part of your program this summer. Thank you for helping me with my summer edition of Chair Chat.
Thank you. Thank you for
so
having
much.
us.